From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Welcome to the Crop Over Sweet Spot, your go-to show for all things Crop Over 2024. We'll dive into the big issues of the day with exclusive interviews with the entertainers, the experts, the movers and shakers of the festival, plus you, the audience. Get to join the conversation and share your views. Tune in to CBC TV 8 every Friday night for the ultimate Crop Over experience with yours truly, the Admiral. We're big on everything Crop Over 2024. The Crop Over Sweet Spot, brought to you with the kind compliments of Axel Finance.
Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to see me, Chrissy D, on Fashion Flair on CBC TV 8. I'll be bringing you the latest fashion trends, fashion ends, and everything in between. Get ready to transform your style, get inspired, and elevate your fashion game with the ultimate guide to looking fabulous. Join me, Chrissy D, this Friday on CBC TV 8 at 6 p.m. for an exciting episode of Fashion Flair.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game with Dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue. All new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good to have you with us on this Monday morning. It's a rainy day here in Barbados, July 8th. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning. So I hope you had a great weekend. There was lots to see and do as Crop Over officially got started with the Digicel Crop Over ceremonial delivery of the Last Kings and opening gala, and of course they had the vintage Calypso tent as well. We shared that with you here on CBC TV8. You'll get another opportunity to see it as well. And then of course yesterday the juniors had their time with the semi-finals. At some point in time we're going to give a big shout out to the finalists as well, so you get a chance to see who's made it through to the finals. That will come your way live here on CBC TV8. So coming up on today's show, we have a great mixture of things to share with you. We are going to be reaching all across the world. That's right, the Barbados Tourism Youth Congress. They are going to be here and sharing with us. I know the BTMI throughout the years, the Ministry of Tourism as well, developed and implemented a school speak-off competition. So we're going to see some of the young people that are benefiting from that program. Angelique Gearwood of Princess Margaret School and Delinda Maynard of that school as well. And Malika Straker of Lester Vaughan. They're going to come through and share with us. So I know you look forward to that. We're going to give you an update on Grenada. I know we reached out on Friday. We spoke with the Minister of Tourism there. We're going to update you further when we get a report from Kenroy Baptiste, who is a television news anchor at GBN TV in Grenada, so that we can hear a little bit more about what's happening. We're also going to be sharing some of the 50 songs of Crop Over as we celebrate our 50th anniversary of Crop Over. Now, a special group got together and they put together 50 songs that have been popular through the years but have not won any competition. So we look forward to that. We'll also be telling you about the Parados Tea Party that's coming up. They've also been doing lots of work in the communities, helping parents to be better at what they do. And we're reaching out to Bajans all over the place. Now, some Bajans who are afar and reaching back today to share with us, already giving trouble behind the scenes. The two of them are just, I can tell, trouble, maybe separately, but together, a whole other story. So let me say a good morning to Rashi Cummins and Dario Boyce, who are both chefs. Good morning, fellas.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
I bet you guys didn't know I could hear you behind the scenes.
No, we didn't.
I could hear every single word. No worries, though. Good to have you with us, reaching back. All right, so first of all, talk to me about your journeys, Mr. Cummins. How did you determine that you wanted to become a chef?
Well, for me, the journey started from St. Leonard's Boys in the Junior Challenge with Chef Peter Eby and Miss Andre Griffith. They actually put me on. My trainer was me and Sergeant. So from the St. Leonard's Boys School, we went to many competitions, a lot of training, and I ended up starting it. At first I didn't like it, but then when we got to competition, I saw that there's growth and different things happening, and how far you can get as a chef, because the different types of chefs, it was something to look into. It was a no-brainer for me from day one.
What about you, Dario?
For me, it started with both my grandmothers. So, Granny Gloria, God rest her soul, and Granny Daphne. They always, the watching them cook, watching the love in the kitchen, and watching how they used to sit down and watch everybody enjoy the meals. It's like for me, I wanted to bring that joy to people after I saw that and I experienced it. And that was one of the things that I say, plus I used to watch back in the day from STV, used to watch the cooking channel with my grannies. So that's something that I fell in love with and had a passion for and decided to pursue the career in that area.
No, that's back in the day because you're talking about STV.
Yes, please.
Yeah. But Rash, you said that you were a little reluctant at first to get into it. So, talk to me about the process of kind of coming to love it to the point where you've now relocated and you guys are making it a career.
Well, for me, the process, it was honestly the journey for me. It was an unforgettable experience doing it from the start because you don't know where you would be. I remember working at little restaurants, even cutting grass at one point, but you never know where you would be in life. So through training and motivation from others, even reaching out to Chef Boyce here in between my career, even before working together, I used to get a lot of advice from him. I saw him working, and I always used to say, maybe I could get there one day. And just like that, it just happened so fast, and I ended up right next to Chef Boyce. And we working here together.
It's true.
It just happened. Every time it just happened, it literally just happened. Oh, I reached out to Chef Boyce via Instagram. We were talking, and then a couple months later, we were together working, just like that.
Yeah, I could tell the two of you definitely would have to separate you in the classroom. Chef Boyce, Chef Boyce, talked about the relocation experience and fill the gaps where Chef Cummins kind of said he reached out to you online and you guys were able to kind of make it happen working together.
The relocation, well, what happened was I was on LinkedIn. And I was looking for opportunities outside of Barbados to further myself, you know what I mean? Especially in working in a different culture. I always like to immerse myself in different cultures, have an understanding of, who they are, why they are, how they are. And I saw the opportunity and I reached out, went through the process, and then I got over here. And in terms of, as a Bajan, you want to bring your cultural identity with you and express it to the world. And I felt when I had the opportunity to have a number two, I always felt like I wanted it to be someone that I trust, someone that I know will help me to deliver, talented, young, intelligent, somebody that can help me show what Bajans can do. So after I reached out to Rashid, we had a conversation. And just like how we are joking here, we were joking, and I said to him, "Man, I would like to got you out here." And he was like, "Don't say no more."
They coming.
And from there, that was the beginning, to be honest.
Just like that.
I mean, that's amazing to have someone who kind of reposes so much confidence in you, Rashi. Was the move difficult? Because as Chef Boyce said, you would have marked your stamp in terms of your culture, how Bajans cook is a little different. But now here you are, going to a different culture. Were you a little apprehensive at first?
For me, it was a no-brainer. When Chef Boyce said he wanted me, I just said, I'm coming. I literally left Barbados in 1 week. It was that serious. I left Barbados in 1 week. He called me probably like Tuesday. I was here the Saturday. And the move was not, honestly, for me, it was easier because they had someone here to support me, guide me, and to show me the way because he was here before. So it made it much easier for me, the transition. It was okay. At first, coming to a new place, you have to learn the culture, have to learn how to do stuff. But then with goodness from him, it became easier for me to settle in. So then from the time we started, it just was back to back to back to back, successful functions, successful work, growing the team, working with the team, stuff like that.
So Chef Boyce, talk to me about what you guys do in St. Martin. Specifically, what's on the menu?
We got fish cakes for sure. As a Asian, for me, one of the things that we've been doing is we've been using international dishes, but the traditional flavors. So a lot of the things we try to put our identity in with having a twist of something that would have been local, but brought to the international scale with presentation, flavor-wise, stuff like that. So how we season our meats, how we prepare the menu, the items that we put on, is things that would have come from the experience and the growth as a Bajan coming up, cultural identity in terms of we have, like, as I said, fish cakes. We did bourgeois when they had cultural representation. We did a bourgeois dish. So we tried to put, like, I did a stew food dish.
Macaroni pie.
Yeah. So we try to always have a part of our culture immersed in the menu to give people that taste of Barbados, but also, have the international flair.
What about you, Rashi? What are some of the things that you've looked forward to bringing to the menu, to the table in St. Martin?
Well, for me, working with Chef Boyce, we, as he said, we want to do is to use Bajan cuisine innovatively, using it in different ways. So, as we say, if we do like Bajan cuckoo, we do it with a twist, present it differently, and then now we do it in a bowl. Now we can shape it in like a canal with a different fish. We try to use it in different ways, like as we said, the salt fish, and to use cuckoo. We use macaroni pie, but in different ways to make it much better, in a more presentable way for the guests and also for the for the hotel itself, actually, for the presentation, the flow, the service, stuff like that. So basically, we use different cuisines and use it our way with the Bajan twist. As I said, the seasoning the meats, we do it the Bajan way. We do the rice, even the Bajan way. Any dish we do, we try to use it Bajan. We to put Bajan in it because we have two heads here as Bajans, so we try to get the flavors out for everyone to taste our culture, what we bring, what we do, and what we are, and what we love. Because that's what we're here for.
What's some of the feedback, Chef Boyce?
And the feedback, let me tell you, feedback has been phenomenal. We actually have a little Bajan community over here. So majority of the time when you have like locals, St. Martiners and the Bajans commenting and coming out to the events that we have, coming out to the functions, to the theme nights, and saying that they really enjoy the food. Like one of the satisfying things is seeing on TripAdvisor, like the enjoyment of the food, the things that the people love, coming back to be able to see what we do and how we do it. Like, having our repeat customer shows that the consistency has been working, shows that the flavor is there, shows that we are able to not only reach the international market, but the local market as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. I want to hear what you do, Chef Cummins, outside of that. What are some of the things from St. Martin that you came to enjoy? I don't know if you've incorporated some of that culture into what you do, but what are some of the new exciting things that you've experienced since you've moved away?
You mean in terms of work or in terms of the experience itself?
All round.
All around, well, work-wise is a whole totally different setting in terms of how they do in their culture, in terms of the hotel culture they have here. So it was something new for me. In terms of St. Martin, we do it has a lot of hills, so we do a lot of hiking, walking, exercising. I don't do much activities really besides work because we work almost every day. So most of the fun happens at work, especially enjoy the functions and seeing the guests being happy. Most of the excitement happens at work. Normally on the days off, we normally rest because we're so tired at things. most days we rest, but most of the action actually happens at work. Most of everything actually happens at work.
And Chef Boyce, a big part of what you've been up to is really mentoring and training, because all I've heard is that you've also brought Chef Cummins along. He talked about how he looked up to you in a manner of speaking. So, how has that shaped the type of chef that you are, the way you kind of commandeer your team?
Boss.
For me, I would say I was fortunate in my career to have chefs who mentored me, who guided me, who cared about what I was doing, how I was doing it, and where it was going. And one of the things that I always wanted to do was the same thing that they did for me, the same love, the same respect, the same support that they've given to me. Even though that I am here as the executive chef, one of the things that I admire is the fact that I can still reach out to them for guidance, and they always provide that support. And I always wanted to give that back because I know how important it is, as a young chef coming up. The chef world is not simple, it's not easy. It's very cutthroat, it's very vicious. And I always believe that for me, the youth is the future. I have my experience, yes. I have the expertise, the skills, all of that. But at the same time, you want a fresh mind, a young mind that will challenge you, that will help push you and help sharpen you and guide you to remember, what you're doing it, and how about this, how we can push the boundaries. So having the opportunity to work with young, passionate chefs is one of the things that I look forward to and I always embrace. And I always want to give back to them because hopefully that they would give that to somebody else. You know what I mean? To continue the chain of the passion and the love for culinary, because it's kind of fading, but there's still hope. So I try to be that person to pass the torch to the next person who has that passion. And as you will know from Rashi, anybody that know Rashi know that he's a very passionate chef. He's very enthusiastic. As you can see, he always got me laughing. And he wants to give back. He wants to be part of that. So why not work with somebody who is motivated in that way, who wants to uplift others and bring others along? You know what I mean? Pass the torch to somebody that, will genuinely pass the torch again to keep that tradition going. So that is, for me, one of the most important things and one of the reasons why it was a no-brainer, and the situation worked out perfectly. Right now, we sitting in a good position. We enjoying what we're doing. And let me tell you, we're having a blast over here, man.
Yeah, something tells me that I'm not getting the full stories, because when we're talking about the blast that you guys are having, that's just like half of it.
We don't worry.
That's okay. Yeah, so when I'm booking my ticket to come to St. Martin, which hotel do I need to come to, Mr. Rashi?
You need to come to the Mornin Resort in Beacon Road. Yes, please, the Mornin Resort.
All right, well, I want to thank both of you for sharing with us. I know there must be people here at home that you're missing and you want to say a special hi to. So it's always good to see Barbadians doing well, and we truly are proud to see that you're flying the Bajan flag high, even though Chef Cummins says that people prefer macaroni pie not in squares, because we serve it in squares. So I suppose you do it in circles, triangles, rectangles. So who would you like to say a special good morning to you, Chef Cummins?
I just want to say a special good morning to everyone that's supporting us, everyone that's following us, making sure we're okay. Just want to say shout out to Barbados. Everyone that reach out to us, making sure that, giving us that love. We feel the love. The love is real. We feel that love for sure. We saw it on Barbados today. It was great, bigger than I expected. And I hope that everyone, stay proud of us. For sure. Just want to say hello to my family and everybody else that supported me throughout my career, all my teachers, and everyone that was there for me. Even Chef Edie, big up to him. He was a big part of my career. Also, just want to say thank you to everyone, and thank you for the love and the support. I will always continue to make everyone proud and be here and keeping my country proud and Chef Boyce proud always.
Good stuff, Chef Boyce, looking like Mikey's distant cousin. Who would you like to say a special good morning to?
First of all, like as Rashi said, I want to thank the Bajan community that has been supporting us. Those behind the scenes that would have showed us out on the DMs and everything, spreading really love, you know what I mean? Making sure people understand who we are and what we do. I want to shout out to my dad. Big respect, Daddy, Benjamin Walker. I want to shout out to my mom, Judy Boyce. Got to shout out Janelle, my baby girl, Dreamy. Those are the people that been in the background, being supportive. When you got the late night calls and you're frustrated and you're stressed out, being able to reach out to them and say, listen, this is what happening, this is what happening. And having that homegrown support to say, you got this, you can get through this, keep going, keep pushing, So I just want to shout out them for sure, because without them, I don't think I will be here. They've been the support that I needed. They've been the support that helped me through the tough times. So I want to big up them and give them a shout out, you know what I mean? As always. thank you guys for the opportunity to be on Mornin Barbados, to be able to let others see who we are, what we're doing, and as a representation of Barbados, away from home but still representing home. And shout out to everybody involved in this process. Thank you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to be on the program again. Yeah, that's it. Love and respect always.
Always.
No problem. I will send you some crop over love from Barbados. Crop over love across the way.
You need it.
Now, before you go, Chef Cummins, what is your signature dish? All chefs have like a signature dish or go-to dish that you think there's no one who can make this dish better than me.
Oh. Oh, that is, I mean, I can make so much different things so good. Like, I can't even label one. That's the truth.
He's a show-off people. Let me try Chef Boyce. Chef Boyce, what's your signature dish?
Like,
no way.
For me, the one thing that, as
like
a
your
Bajan,
go-to
right?
thing, like the one dish that if someone said, make this for $1 million, is if everybody in the room is going to love it, what dish would you go to?
I go make sauce. The Bajan. I get sauce. I'm telling you.
So what different things we can do.
I go make sauce, man. When I was on the culinary team, when I went to Taste of the Caribbean, I made a reinterpretation of sauce. That is my favorite dish. That is my go-to dish. I love putting on sauce, so I can go and get sauce.
Chef Cummins?
Yes, please.
You can serve some of Chef Boy's sauce?
I mean, like to do anything. Like, Bajan-wise, I love to make cuckoo. I love to make a good cuckoo. Honestly, cuckoo with anything. I can make a good cuckoo and fish. That's one.
I love that. I love that you guys came with really traditional Barbadian dishes as your go-to dishes. Absolutely love that. And somebody in the back told me to ask you about the pineapples on the chef coats. If that means that SpongeBob is close.
No, the pineapple is one of the tourism beacons over here. So, the pineapple represents the labor of love. As you know, to grow pineapple is take like 2.5, 3 years.
Correct.
So it's just the representation of the pineapple over here is to say that the tourism is that labor of love. It takes time, but at the end you get the joy and the result, like the juicy fruit. So that's the pineapple.
Everybody asks it.
Yeah.
Everybody asks it.
All right. Well, good stuff, fellas. Thank you so much, Chefs Rashi Cummins and Chef Dario Boyce, both in St. Martin and flying the Bajan flag high. Thank you both for sharing with us.
Thank you.
All right. Really great to connect with the guys. Absolutely love speaking with them. All right, it's time for a break here on Morning Barbados on this rainy Monday morning. Stay with us. We have lots more coming up after this.
Here I stand, open your window, listen to the band. Call my band sweet and honey, open your window, throw the money. Listen to the music that I bring, a bottle of rum is just the thing. Just that Jesus speak and mouth, rum for a man and for a child. Took my rhythm, it's all I bring. Took my rhythm, to make you swing and swing and swing. Took my rhythm, it's all I bring to you. Took my rhythm, to make you swing. All right. Any bank holiday, many Bajans go out to play, and they all just get the set, and they really know what is meant by the command giving musical nourishment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue. All new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Welcome to the Crop Over Sweet Spot, your go-to show for all things Crop Over 2024. We'll dive into the big issues of the day with exclusive interviews with the entertainers, the experts, the movers and shakers of the festival, plus you, the audience. Get to join the conversation and share your views. Tune in to CBC TV8 every Friday night for the ultimate Crop Over experience with yours truly, the Admiral. We're big on everything Crop Over 2024. The Crop Over Sweet Spot, brought to you with the kind compliments of Axel Finance.
Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to see me, Chrissy D, on Fashion Flair on CBC TV8. I'll be bringing you the latest fashion trends, fashion ends, and everything in between. Get ready to transform your style, get inspired, and elevate your fashion game with the ultimate guide to looking fabulous. Join me, Chrissy D, this Friday on CBC TV8 at 6 p.m. for an exciting episode of Fashion Flair.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
26 minutes to 7 o'clock. The time is quickly going by. And I know you're looking forward to the summer holiday. What? An entire I can't remember my summer ever being so long. I think we used to get maybe 10 weeks, 12 tops. And before you could say Jack Robinson, summer vacation was done and you were back to school. But I loved it because it was an opportunity to kind of get some new stuff. So, again, new uniforms, new shoes, new bag. Everybody wants to come out looking brand new. Now, in 2000, the Ministry of Tourism developed and implemented a secondary school speak-off competition, really to prepare the next junior tourism minister. So we've been seeing a lot about that. Every morning I drive past Harrison College, I see the junior tourism minister's banner outside of the school. So it's time to select a new Junior Tourism Minister, to represent Barbados at the Tourism Industry Conference, which will be held from September 4th to 6th in the Cayman Islands. That's coming up later this year. So we've been going through the competition, and we have a few of the young people who are participating in the competition joining me this morning. Now, first of all, we have Angelique Yearwood and Delinda Maynard representing Princess Margaret School. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to have both of you with us. No big smiles yet, but we're going to get there. And also here with us, we have Shamarko Amy, as well as Malika Straker, representing the Lester Vaughan School. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so I'll start with you, Malika. Tell me a little bit about what piqued your interest in the competition. Why did you decide to be a part of it?
Well, what piqued my interest at first, I always did seek out information about the tourism industry, and I found it very easy to understand, and also I more so follow the marine aspect more so than on land tourism as well. So that was kind of what interested me this year, because there are topics about the marine aspect, and I think it's underlooked a lot, and I really just thought that this year I really want to join because it would bring the marine aspect more to light, more so than people focusing on land tourism.
Good stuff. What about you, Delinda? Why did you decide to be a part of it? I know that I've seen you in another Speak Off competition, so it seems that, you know, you've grown to love this area.
Yeah, I think this competition would have helped a lot with my confidence and, you know, helping me to be a bit more out there. And it also helps with, like, my future, because I want to become a flight attendant. So it's like, yeah, I feel like this is my push.
Gives you an opportunity to kind of speak up.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's all about. Shamarko.
Good morning.
Tell me, good morning, what got you interested? And the ironic thing about some of these speak-offs is we usually get to see so many girls as a part of it. Like this morning, you're the only guy representing. So, you know, who helped you to kind of make the decision that you wanted to be a part of this competition?
Well, actually last year I placed second in the same competition.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This year I'm here as a substitute for Malika, and what piqued my interest was public speaking, because it will help me to be more confident and more out there.
So talk to me about the competition last year. What was the experience like?
It was a very good experience. I was very nervous, and it helped me to get out of the shell that I was in last year. There were many stages, and I think I got through each and every stage as I wanted to, and the final outcome was great for me.
That's excellent. I mean, coming second is, you know, nothing to sneeze at with a competition like this. And for you, Angelique, I know this isn't the first Speak Off competition that you have been a part of. So what do you love about competitions like this?
Well, as everyone said, I get to show my confidence because I'm a very shy person. Right now I'm speaking very loudly, but I'm very shy. I get to show people that I am out of my shell, and I get to show people that I have a very loud voice. And I just joined this competition so I could learn more about my country and how the tourism industry is settling in.
All right, that's good stuff. Considering what happened, Malika, just over a week ago here in Barbados, I'm sure that because of your interest in all that happened with us, that must have really kind of caught your interest in a different kind of way as well.
Yes, it did. It did. I've seen a lot of the damage firsthand. I've also seen the aspect where I'm studying. I've seen major impacts, and I can see how it can be detrimental to to bring in more tourism to the marine part of tourism. As I said, a lot of damage has been sustained, and I do want to bring that to light also, because not much people know about that.
All right, and for you, Delinda, what are some of the areas specific to tourism that you're interested in sharing about, or things that you've learned being a part of the competition?
I've learned a lot more about Barbados that I honestly did not know, like had no clue about. And I'm more interested in the traveling and the, you know, encountering different cultures and, you know.
All right, good stuff. What about you, Shamarko? You've had the opportunity to kind of go through things and you've experienced it before. How is this time different for you, even though you're substituting kind of this time around?
Well, first I get to lay back, but this year I'm definitely learning more things that I did not know about Barbados as well. And also seeing the new topics there this year, behind the scenes with Malika trying to figure out what biotourism is and how it can benefit Barbados.
Angelique, what are some of the things that you've learned about Barbados since being a part of this competition?
I've learned a lot of things that I've never learned in primary school. I learned that town, like Bridgetown, it was like a place of riot. Instead of like how we see it right now in the present, how we see it as a peaceful place, it went back all those years ago. It was like a place of riot and not a safe place for everyone.
Okay, so there were riots in Bridgetown back in the day, so you know that was a specific point in time in history, but it's wonderful that you're able to kind of live that as you go through the competition. So what are you looking forward to most for you, Malika? By entering the competition, you obviously want to win. Nobody wants to enter a competition just for the experience of it. So what's your game plan generally?
Besides winning, it would most likely, I really do want to educate people. I really want them to see our island in the full limelight that it is. I want them to know that they can represent their country in whatever shape or way they want to. But it be boasting about the beautiful seas or the skies or anything like that. I really want to inform people about our island more.
Good stuff. What about you, Delinda? What are your hopes for entering the competition?
Well, I am really here as like a substitute for my colleague.
I can't really hear you. I have to project a little bit more.
I am really here for like a substitute for my colleague, and I'm hoping that she wins this, you know. She gets a chance. And yeah.
All right. Well, it's over to you, Angelique. What are you hoping for?
Obviously, I want to win.
Absolutely.
But I am also hoping to see that my school sees me and they say, "Whoa, I could do this too." Instead of like saying that, okay, you know what, I'm from Princess Margaret, maybe I don't have a chance. They can say, okay, yeah, I could do this. To like inspire my school.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I love that, you know, you're in that headspace, and there's so much more that can come out of a competition like this for you guys to be able to not only make friends and listen to the views of other people, but share your views. And I think it's wonderful that so many people in the industry will be listening to what your views are, because I'm sure that your views that you bring as younger people will augur well to kind of make the industry a whole lot better. What are you looking forward to most about the competition, Malika?
Well, what I'm looking forward to most, I really want to go to the Cayman Islands. I'm really excited about that part. But I really am excited about the friends and the knowledge that I get to learn along the way, and the friends I get to make and the people I get to meet. I think that would be the most fun aspect for me.
When it comes to prep though, Shamarko, you know, who's helping you guys out? Who's working with you behind the scenes to get you in, you know, good stead for the presentations?
Our social studies teacher, Miss Edwards, she's behind the scenes helping us. She's working with us so we can go forward in the competition and be more confident. She helped me with my public speaking a lot last year. I remember the night before the competition, I was on a Google Meet till 1 o'clock in the morning, preparing for the speech the next day.
All right, that's good stuff. What about you, Delinda? Tell me who's working with you guys behind the scenes.
Our English teacher, Miss Cotterton Taylor. Yeah, she really pushes me and make sure we're in line and get us together, and yeah.
Yeah, what are some of the areas that you have sharpened up throughout the years in competing?
Well, my speaking, of course, because before the first competition, I couldn't even speak well. I was stuttering, and I didn't even speak into the mic. They were like, you need to speak up. But right now, I'm speaking up all like now. So I think my voice has changed.
All right, I love it, and I love that they're looking to craft future leaders in the tourism industry. That's our major industry, so that means a great deal. So Kudos to Team Princess Margaret. And big ups to Team Lester Vaughn. May the best team win. Look forward to seeing you guys on stage representing for your schools, and then to whomever will win representing for Barbados. So congrats to you for stepping forward. I know it can be difficult to step forward and really be a part of these competitions, particularly when you're shy. Yes? But hopefully the competitions will get you past the shyness, okay?
Yes, please.
All right, so we had Shamarko with us this morning, Malika, Delinda, and Angelique. They're a part of the competition. The final stage of the competition, stage 2 and 3, will be Monday, July 22nd at the Hilton Barbados Resort from about 10 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. So I'm going to have to ask some questions. I don't know how I'm going to get a chance to go see it, but I want to make sure that I'm there. And if there's an opportunity for you to see it as well, I know the parents will be out in their numbers and the teachers as well, representing for the various students and schools. We definitely will try to bring the updates to you. So best wishes to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Time for another break here on Morning Barbados, but we have lots more coming up as we head toward the 7 o'clock hour.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue, all new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Right, so we're going to reach out to some of our Caribbean neighbors at this time. I know last week we ended the week telling you all about, how we were here in Barbados shaping up to be able to help our neighbors. I know there were quite a few relief efforts, running kind of simultaneously. The catamarans, they were working together to make a trip down. I know the RSS, they were making trips. I know the BDF, I have quite a few videos that we're going to share with you of them kind of shaping up to be able to ship out and come back, and they're going to be making some other trips and so on. So we wanted to reach out. We had an opportunity to speak with some people from Grenada last week, and we wanted to reach out. And joining us now, we have television news anchor of Grenada Broadcasting Network, GBN, and broadcaster, executive producer of Spice Productions, Ken Roy Baptiste, who's joining us now to tell us a little bit more about how things are shaping up in neighboring Grenada. So good morning to you, Ken Roy. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning, the world.
All right, now let's start at the beginning. Talk to me about how you experienced Hurricane Beryl. Where were you on the island and how did things unfold?
Yes, so I was home. I was home at the time. I was scheduled to be on duty, but nonetheless, I was home. There was some adjustments and so on. So I was home. I experienced Hurricane Beryl at home. For me, it was not like Ivan, I have to say, but that's my experience specifically. It was not like Ivan. Then too, I live in a valley, so things were good for me, but that can't be said relative to a number of other individuals on island, especially those on the sister isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. My home sustained no damage. All is well on my end, but for residents to the north of Grenada, so places like St. Patrick, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, they sustained damage, particularly the sister isles of Carriacou. They received the brunt of it all, quite literally. And at the moment, relief and recovery efforts are on the way there.
Now I want to talk from a broadcaster's perspective, from a media perspective, because we tend to view these types of things through a different lens, literally and figuratively. How did the news unfold of how Hurricane Beryl impacted Carriacou and Petit Martinique on Grenada itself?
Right. So we had a window. The authorities, for example, in Grenada, we have what's known as the National Disaster Management Agency. That's the authority responsible for managing disaster, literally. And so they have been collaborating with the Met Office relative to what would be expected on the island relative to Hurricane Beryl. So for the entire period, they give us a window between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Tuesday. They said to us, within that period, we can expect to see Beryl making landfall, for example. I have to say, they kept us in the loop, but the real action started around 2-ish, in the afternoon. You know, we started to feel the effects of Hurricane Beryl. Of course, they were on the air because NADM has its own broadcast system up there. So they kept us in the loop. But I have to say, sometime about, late in the afternoon, we realized that of course, we were no more having electricity, for example. Electricity was completely out. And, we just had to just use a bit of common sense and discretion to get through the system. But they kept us in the loop. Even after Beryl passed, we were told, okay, now you have the all clear to get out, but still be mindful because there's waterlogged soil, there's a lot of debris outside, so you still need to be cautious. And then reports started to come in relative to the destruction on Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And then we started to learn that Carriacou and Petit Martinique, our sister isles, received the brunt of it all. And this is why, at the moment, relief and recovery efforts are underway there. Overall, I'm told 4 deaths between Grenada, Carriacou, and between Grenada and Carriacou. No deaths on the sister isle of Petit Martinique. I also have to say that at this time, you have a combination of aid being supplied to residents of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, even as recovery efforts are on the way there. So they're clearing blocked roads, for example. They're doing what they can to ensure that some sort of normalcy is restored to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. But it's an uphill task, quite literally, because the island suffered quite a lot.
Now, I know in the initial stages, we heard numbers being bandied about. I think I heard that there were 95% of the buildings were damaged. on Carriacou. I don't know if you're able to confirm any numbers at this stage, but let's talk for a minute about the devastation, the sheer devastation that the people of Carriacou are experiencing at this time.
Yes. So some 98% of buildings, of course. Yes.
My goodness.
98%. Yeah, on the sister isle of Carriacou. That's what has been reported. I can see the same for Petit Martinique, yeah. Not, of course, the same for Grenada, but for Carriacou and Petit Martinique, 98%. It's devastation up there. You know, a friend asked me, how would you describe what you saw? Because I've since been to the Sister Isles on 2 occasions, on Tuesday and Saturday. And I said to the friend, you know, it's like when you have a garbage for the collection authority to pick up, and regrettably, regrettably, an animal has scattered it, a dog, for example, and you see all the litter strewn about the place. This is what the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique look like at this time. It's a mammoth effort that's going to be required for the rebuilding process, because you can say the islands are completely destroyed, quite literally. I have to say that the authorities are working very. I have to give the government a lot of kudos, because from Tuesday, I can say, of last week, efforts have been underway. For example, Samaritan Purse, for example, has been allowed to enter. And they have been providing a lot of relief supplies to the Sister Isles. They've even in the process of setting up, if not already set up, a field hospital at the Lauriston Airport in Carriacou, for example, so that people can get medical attention there, because the main hospital there, and the only hospital, Princess Royal Hospital, is torn apart. The roof, for example, is torn apart. And so residents had to be moved out from that facility. So there's now a field hospital for them to get medical attention. The Senior Citizens Home, for example, the Top Hill Senior Citizens Home in Carriacou, devastated. The residents there have since been flown to Grenada so that they can get continued shelter, so that they can get continued, like other supplies, food, clothing, and so on. So a lot of destruction. Electricity out at the moment. Flow or telecommunications providers, Flow and Digicel, they were out for a few days, but of course Digicel has since been restoring its services there phase by phase and so on. So there is some sort of getting back, but it's a mammoth effort which has to be undertaken to ensure that the island gets back to some sort of normalcy. Life is different here and now for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. It's not the same. Some of them are dejected. And you can very well understand, because their lives and livelihoods have been just ripped apart, literally, by Hurricane Beryl.
Let's focus a little bit on the relief efforts. And I know this has happened on a number of occasions. At the beginning, you said that it wasn't anything like Ivan. Based on lessons learned and what you've observed going to the Sister Isles in the last few days, how are relief efforts unfolding? Are people getting the help they need quickly enough? The international aid agencies who are coming in, are they able to get directly to the people? Or what are the channels that are in place to ensure that people are being seen after?
Yes. So at the moment, I can say that they are receiving aid quickly. Initially, that wasn't the case. There were a lot of reports of, we're not getting aid quickly enough. This part of Carriacou is being neglected while the other areas are being served. But I have to say that as of late Thursday, going into the weekend, things have changed a lot. They've been able to get a lot of heavy equipment up to Carriacou to clear debris, which created a lot of blocks and so on throughout the island, preventing them from getting to residents in various communities. Yeah, the government of Grenada, central government, has in fact been assisting with that sort of heavy equipment. So the NADNO officials who are up in Carriacou providing support, distributing aid, they now have more or less free access to get to the various communities of Carriacou and PD Martinique. So that is no longer the chatter, but initially that was a lot of worry. That also caused a lot of frustration on the part of residents on the island, as well as the families of residents in Grenada on mainland, because they were so concerned about their relatives on the sister isles. There's a lot of aid coming in. So there isn't a case of, oh, we have limited aid, what must we do? There's a lot of aid coming in from the government of Grenada, from Samaritan's Purse, from citizens of Grenada, on island as well as in the diaspora. They have been sending in a lot of aid, and I have to say at this time people are getting aid. In fact, people have been taken to social media because they now have some access by way of the internet, of their Wi-Fi, for example, to report that things have since turned around, that they are not getting support. So that is what's going on, and this will continue. I understand for the next 6 months. Initially, there is going to be active distribution of aid supplies, relief aid to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
Now, the thing about this is we're at the beginning of the hurricane season here in the Caribbean, and this is one of the very first systems that has really crossed our doorsteps that has been so strong. So, what are the plans based on what you're hearing from the emergency organizations, government, various agencies with responsibility, who have a responsibility to not only lead the charge with these relief efforts, but also prepare, set residents for any eventuality in terms of what else might be coming our way this hurricane season?
That's a very good question, because Hurricane Beryl has hit Grenada, has entered the fray of the Windward Islands very early in the game. The hurricane season from June to November, the peak of the season, late August, early September, and we've had Beryl in, June, late June. So it's a challenge. I know the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, they've announced some plans to accommodate especially those displaced, because that's the priority now. How can we provide shelter for those displaced as a result of Hurricane Beryl? But it's not clear-cut what is the medium to long-term plan relative to housing, for example. I know what has been the conversation is better housing is required. The building code, for example, needs to change. That's been a conversation since Hurricane Ivan. Efforts were made, I have to say, since Hurricane Ivan to build stronger houses, more resilient houses. Perhaps that has been the case, given that we've had not much impact on the mainland. So perhaps individuals have since been taking that advice to ensure that their houses are more resilient to natural hazards, for example, like hurricanes. But there is this ongoing conversation of island-wide, there needs to be this deliberate effort to revamp the building code, and not just revamp it, to enforce it, to ensure that people who are building homes adhere to these new requirements. So, because we are not going to escape the rigors of hurricanes, we are in that tropical belt in the region. So, in the short term, there isn't, especially given, after what has happened, there isn't a plan to say, okay, this is what's going to happen going forward. But I know since Hurricane Ivan, the conversation was, there needs to be a revised building code, and it needs to be enforced so that residents can protect their lives and their properties.
Absolutely. The conversations are being elevated not only in Grenada, but certainly at a regional level. I know the regional heads of government meeting was put off, but there have been conversations about what we need to do to be far more prepared and not necessarily reactive as much as we can, because as you mentioned, I mean, we are just smack dab in the path for all of this. Kenroy, I want to thank you for sharing with us. I know that broadcasting at GBN must be totally different from what it was just a few weeks ago. We certainly hope that we can draw on your knowledge and what you see and get you to share with us going forward. And we're sending lots of heart and love and as much as we can from here in Barbados, wishing you all the best in Petit Martinique, Carriacou, and for those people who've been impacted in Grenada as well.
Yes, thank you very much. And just want to mention that the government of Grenada has since established a Hurricane Beryl Disaster Relief Fund to receive financial donations in support of relief and recovery efforts. You can go to pay.gov.gd to donate. And of course, that fund is being managed by the government of Grenada, and we look forward to it going a long way to assisting with the relief and recovery efforts.
Thank you so much, Kenroy. Again, wishing you the very best. And donate what you can. We don't know when it will be our turn or if it can be our turn because, I mean, this said hurricane passed right over us. And here we are. Time for a break. When we come back, a look at the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7:07, time for an update of the news. Aid and additional resources from Barbados have reached St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Barbados Coast Guard arrived yesterday to provide humanitarian relief to the country following Hurricane Beryl. Our Crystal Hoyt was there, and she files this report.
The Barbados Coast Guard has arrived in St. Vincent and the Grenadines following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The Leonard Banfield vessel brought with it critical aid, resources, and security.
Just arrived here in Union Island to bring some aid to Union Island. We brought some water, some Pampers, and some wipes so far. On board we have about 36 persons from the regional security system to assist with the humanitarian disaster relief management here in Union Island after it has been impacted by the Hurricane Beryl, which passed on the 1st of July.
Also on board were additional team members from SEDIMA's CARICOM Disaster Relief Unit, CDRU. Lieutenant Commander Dorian Davis, the director of the CDRU, explained their primary objectives.
Our main purpose here is to be able to bring relief to the persons of Union Island. Our job here is to manage the resources, the aid that is coming to the island, and be able to distribute it along with to the natives of the island to be able to bring some relief to them.
The CDRU team is expected to be deployed for the next 2 weeks. Reporting from Union Island, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
Thank you, Crystal. Meanwhile, the Regional Security System and the Barbados Defence Force will continue their relief efforts to those CARICOM nations impacted by Hurricane Beryl. Word of this from Lieutenant Colonel Carlos Lovell, military advisor to the Chief of Staff.
Over the coming weeks, further deployments will continue in order to provide additional assistance to the people of these islands as part of wider joint disaster response operations. Rest assured, that throughout these operations, the Barbados Defence Force will remain professional, focused, and will continue to be a symbol of excellence.
Meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions known as MICE tourism have become a notable niche for Barbados. Given its potential, the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated is working to establish the island as a hub for corporate events. Chief Product Development Officer Marsha Aline says the BTMI is committed to partnering with stakeholders across various sectors to fuel the growth. She was speaking during a reception at Ilaro Court for attendees on island for the second Caribbean Dental Sleep Medicine Conference.
Having Barbados host this conference certainly reflects the strides that BTMI has made in establishing the island as a preferred MICE market. In the region, our aim is to Barbados be the forefront of MICE market and conferences for the Caribbean. And having you all here visiting affords us the opportunity, of course, to showcase what Barbados has to offer and the potential of you returning as a visitor or for what we call bleisure, which is a mixture of business and leisure.
Now, Ms. Aline says efforts to promote the island as a year-round travel destination have indeed been paying off.
Continue to see gains from promoting the island as a premier destination for business, leisure, as I said before, and cultural experiences. And if your schedule permits, and I was talking to some of you earlier, and I heard you had some time on Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning, so I do encourage you, those of you who are visiting, to enjoy some of Barbados's unique attractions.
And if you're wondering what was happening at the conference, well, dental professionals gathered here for the conference, focusing on sleep apnea. The professionals are working alongside doctors to improve overall health, as more information is known about the effects of the disorder. Coordinator Dr. Alison Mears says sleep is important, and the effects of untreated and undetected sleep apnea can be harmful.
Unfortunately, sleep apnea can have much more harmful effects, including high blood pressure, heart problems, and type 2 diabetes, such that organizations such as the American Heart Association have recommended that all patients with atrial fibrillation, which is an irregular heart rhythm which increases the risk of strokes, be screened for OSA and treated if it is detected. Just a few months ago, I think the WHO created a report that outlined that the devastating effects of high blood pressure across the globe were increasing, with 1 in 3 adults being affected by it. And daily, we in the Caribbean are being reminded of the high rates of hypertension and other NCDs in our populations.
Barbadian youth are taking a stand on a number of issues in the country, and the executive of the Barbados Youth Development Council, or BYDC, has urged officials to include the youth in every facet of life, including giving them a seat on the social partnership. President Caleb Brathwaite says the rising tide of violence among young people is out of hand. Already, Barbados has recorded 24 homicides for 2014. Mr. Brathwaite says they listened to Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley with great interest yesterday and are in agreement with what she says and has prescribed to mitigate crime prevention in the country, but they say more can be done.
We still believe that the Prime Minister should convene a national meeting of stakeholders, that of civil society, that of the private sector association, that of community groups, a national meeting of stakeholders to ensure that collectively we understand what it will take to wrestle this violence to the ground, recognizing that this trend that we are seeing among young people is not a trend that we should be tolerating in this country.
Further, Mr. Brathwaite says there needs to be a requisite program implemented to assist young people in communities in an effort to meet them where they are, and he's urging officials to include young people in policy making.
There must be youth representation in every single thing government do, so and in relation to the policies that will ultimately affect us as young people, because people may have an idea, just as you said, they may have an idea how to do things. Even as an executive, we may have an idea to do things. But you still have to take into consideration what the policies, who they will affect, and allow them to have input.
In sports, the Barbados Under-21 national team has high hopes of qualifying for the Netball World Youth Cup in Gibraltar in 2025. The Baby Gems departed the island recently to compete in the qualifying tournament, set for July 8th to 14th in Guadeloupe. Speaking to CBC Sports ahead of their departure, Captain Shantia Callender said she's confident of her team's chances.
I'm very excited, especially because this is my first time representing Barbados, and being my first time, I also made captain, so I'm very excited about that. Training was a bit rough at times. We did fitness, lots of ball drills. We had retreats to bond and stuff, and I believe that we will do great. We will go in and do good.
How strong is this team, yourself included? How good is this team?
The team is pretty strong. We have a lot of different individuals coming together, bringing their own talents to the group. So I believe that the team is very strong and we will come out victorious.
That was Captain Shanita Callender. Now, Coach Pamela Hesson is also optimistic about the team's chances.
We got some tough challenges with some of the teams, so we do actually know what we're up against. But over the last couple of weeks, I'm very proud of these girls because they've stepped up. They've worked really hard and they've enhanced the skills they have. And if you're asking what our chances are, we want to win. We're going to qualify. We're not going there not to qualify, so we're going there to take each game, one game at a time, and we want to win each game. That's the focus for us.
The girls have their very first game today against St. Martin. It's going to be at noon. You can listen out to Newsnight a little bit later for the results of that. But we have Newsday coming your way at 12 noon here on CBC TV 8 and at 1 o'clock, The World at 1 on our radio network of stations, 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. It's 16 after 7, time for a break, but more Morning Barbados is coming up. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Welcome to the Crop Over Sweet Spot, your go-to show for all things Crop Over 2024. We'll dive into the big issues of the day with exclusive interviews with the entertainers, the experts, the movers and shakers of the festival, plus you, the audience. Get to join the conversation and share your views. Tune in to CBC TV 8 every Friday night for the ultimate Crop Over experience with yours truly, the Admiral. We're big on everything Crop Over 2024. The Crop Over Sweet Spot, brought to you with the kind compliments of Axel Finance.
Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to see me, Chrissy D, on Fashion Flair on CBC TV 8. I'll be bringing you the latest fashion trends, fashion ends, and everything in between. Get ready to transform your style, get inspired, and elevate your fashion game with the ultimate guide to looking fabulous. Join me, Chrissy D, this Friday on CBC TV 8 at 6 p.m.
Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7:18. It's still raining outside. So if you have to come out with your rainmates, your umbrellas, whatever you need to keep yourself dry, make sure you do that. All right? Particularly those who are working outdoors. I know today will look a totally different way from you're accustomed to, because if you have to work outdoors and it's raining, you might not be able to do what you need to do. So I certainly hope that things clear. But we do need the water for the crops and so on. So a special good morning to those of you who are in the agricultural sector. I also want to say a special good morning to the people who are out exercising bright and early. And I recognize on my way in that many of you are still out fearing the weather and getting your exercise in. So that's very, very important. I want to say a very good morning, though, to everybody at Parados and all that you're doing, particularly Rosalind Hines, who is president of Parados. She's joining us this morning now to tell us all about an upcoming affair, a big tea party that they're putting on in the spirit of Olympics. So good morning. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. It's nice being here, and good morning, Barbados. Yes, our tea party comes off on Saturday, the 13th of July, on the grounds of State House from 2 to 6 p.m. We are looking forward to it very much. We have lots of exciting things in store for those who come. To start off with, we have nice entertainment. We have an 11-year-old Rashida Grant, who is also known as the Golden Girl, and she was a semi-finalist in Beige to the World last year, and she's going to do 2 songs for us. We also have 16-year-old twin girls playing the steel pan, and we have Darian Ford, a singer. So we have some entertainment. In addition to that, we have Shop C&J, which they will be doing a fashion show for us, right? So it should be a fairly, entertaining evening. We do have, you asked about the name, yes. Right? And we are very much aware that Olympics are around the corner. And we are also aware that there is a record in the Guinness Book of Records. It's held right now by an Australian in terms of throwing a tea bag into a pot. And the record right now is 10 meters. So we are going to have our own tea bag throwing competition to see whether we can break that record and get into the Guinness Book of Records. So that's our Olympic theme.
I think that will depend on whether the tea bag is allowed to be wet or dry.
Well, I have to get all of those particulars.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little more about Parados. I know lately you've been out and about in the communities. Yes. You've been sharing a lot more. How successful have the programs been moving around and really helping parents to be able to cope a little better here on island?
Yes. Well, Parados is all primarily about parenting, and we continue to have parenting classes on a regular basis at Parados itself and throughout the community. Recently, we have partnered with the government of Barbados in terms of doing island-wide parenting classes. And they have started. We were in St. Peter, we were in St. George, and we intend to be throughout the island, and they have been going very well. Very well. I myself attended one of the programs and was very pleased to see, how it went. Right, very good.
I know that Parados you also run a daycare service. But let's tell people about all Parados is doing.
Yes. Okay. Well, yes, we have a daycare. Parados started in 1972, so we are 52 years old. And we started off with just daycare, and in 2002, so that's 22 years ago, we moved into preschool, right? So we take in babies from 6 months, right? And we go right up to 4.5 years. So we go from daycare right into preschool. And I can tell you that the school, we have a very good reputation, very happy about the school. One of the top students in this year's 11 plus exam is a product of Parados Nursery. I can say the same thing for the top boy last year. So we have had a record of having, the top performers coming out of the nursery school at Parados.
That's truly excellent. And I know that with the work you do, these fundraising efforts really help to contribute because generally it's so much to be done.
Yes. All of the work that is done by Parados is free to the end user. All the parenting classes that we do, free to the end user. So the school is very useful in terms of helping us do the programs that Parados is all about. I have to add that in addition to the parenting classes, we also, for all the years, have done a program at the prison where we help fathers primarily who are coming out of prison to help them to reunite with their children and their families. And that has been very successful. We have had certainly letters from fathers thanking us for the help that we have given them in terms of, reuniting with their families. And we are taking that a lot. Obviously, during COVID, that had to stop because we could not do the visits to the prison. But we are starting back that program and taking it a bit further, again in partnership with the government of Barbados, where we are not only looking at helping the actual father, but going into the homes of the family and helping, so it's both sides, right? So that is also a very important program that we run. And the other thing that I need to mention is counseling. We do a lot of counseling at Parados. The courts send a lot of their people to Parados for counseling, whether it's parents, children, or whatever. So it is a tremendous amount of work that is done in the communities in Barbados by Parados. So we have to try from time to time to do these fundraising events to be able to support the programs that we run.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, this particular event, I'm particularly interested in the tea bag throwing contest to set the Guinness World Record.
Yes.
And the fashion show too.
Yes.
Also very interesting. But it's also going to be held under the patronage of Her Excellency.
Yes.
The Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason.
That's right.
That's quite the honor.
Well, the president is our patron. She was a member of the Parados board for several years and only gave that up when she became Governor General. So, it's quite in keeping with, but she is our patron and it is going to be held under her patronage.
All right, the event promises to be an interesting evening and it's coming up
Saturday.
This
Saturday the 13th.
So talk to us about how we can get in on the action.
Okay, well, if you haven't had tickets so far, right, tickets are available at Parados. You can give them a call, 427-0212, to get your tickets. We have our tickets. We did advertise that children under 5 would be free of cost because, having this school, it would have been nice for the parents to bring along because all the children there under 5, bring along their children. So to be able to entertain them, we have a jumping tent that we're going to have so that the children, young children will be occupied, have something to do. We have a snow cone cart so that they can have snow cones and all of these activities are all inclusive in the price. There's no extra cost to participate in anything once you are there, right? We have a very attractive door prize given to us by Barbados Beach Club, which is a weekend for 2. Right, at the Barbados Beach Club. So, and several other prizes.
Oh, it sounds beautiful. Talk to me about the shape that the entire presentation will take. Is it traditional tea in the afternoon with tea-like things? Are you going to have something a little more substantial?
It's tea-like things.
Okay.
We are very much aware that it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you know how hot the weather is.
Yes.
So we do have lots of fruit juices, and because that tends to be very popular at that time. I understand even more than the tea, right? So yes, there will be the traditional tea and tea things.
I know people argue that tea cools the system. So
maybe they will drink the tea. But we will also have iced tea for those who are not interested in hot tea.
All right. And Bajans, when we talk about tea, it's just about everything.
That's right.
When we talk about tea. All right. Beyond the tea party, the Olympic affair that's coming up on Saturday, what are some of the initiatives that we can look forward to from Parados moving forward?
Well, we do have another fundraiser planned for the end of August, which is, I think, would appeal a lot to several Barbadians. It is a policeman concert at the District A police station, Station Hill, and that is going to be on the 28th of August. Again, tickets would be available at Parados for that event, right?
All right, that's beautiful. Well, we just want to encourage you to come out to State House 2 to 6 this Saturday, July 13th, for an Olympic affair, a garden tea party under the patronage of Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason. Get on out and support Parados. All the programs they're doing benefit us across the island. So make sure you share in the activities. All right, what's happening tomorrow?
What's happening tomorrow?
Oh no, this was my director telling me. I heard him saying something about tomorrow. He said that I'm going to practice throwing the tea bag from tomorrow.
Oh, good. That would be lovely. I look forward to it so much because it was something that I had not heard of until it was brought to my attention. And I thought this is so in keeping with a tea party, a tea bag throwing competition. So so tell him to continue to practice.
You definitely have to find out the rules of the toss.
We will.
Because tossing a dry tea bag 10 meters.
I'm sure it's going to be a wet tea bag.
Okay, I'm giving up. I want to thank you so much, Rojalyn. I really enjoyed this discussion with you, and I look forward to hearing more about the wonderful things Parados is doing.
Yes, and I want to thank you so much for having us and giving us the opportunity to be able to tell you a bit about what Parados is doing.
All right, now Mrs. Hines is the president of Parados. So make sure you get those tickets. Remember, under 5.
Free of cost.
Free of cost. And then you can grab your tickets for the little older ones. There are activities for them to do. It's a wonderful setting. If you've not been to State House before, it's a great opportunity to see the space and enjoy the atmosphere there. Of course, the president is going to be present as well. And you get to enjoy all of the wonderful activities for a worthy cause. Stay with us here on Morning Barbados. We have lots more coming up. When we come back, though, we reach out to a Barbadian afar.
It was slavery that brought the ancestors to this country. From Africa they came to walk in the land of the sugar cane. But on the Atlantic, some of them get sick, some were beaten, some were threatened. They were so frightened that they jumped overboard to escape mass of wicked hand. Long, long, long before they see land. So tell them I pay my duty to live here peacefully. Tell them slavery done. I pay my duty to practice my culture. Tell them slavery done. I pay my duty for my children's future. Tell them slavery done. I pay my duty to live here forever. Tell them
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning.
Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to see me, Chrissy D, on Fashion Flair on CBC TV8. I'll be bringing you the latest fashion trends, fashion ends, and everything in between. Get ready to transform your style, get inspired, and elevate your fashion game with the ultimate guide to looking fabulous. Join me, Chrissy D, this Friday on CBC TV8 at 6 p.m. for an exciting episode of Fashion Flair.
The ultimate cricket.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, time for us to reach out to a Bajan afar. Hailing from Barbados, Adrian Carew transitioned into Toronto's beauty and fashion scene in the early 2000s. Most recently, he's the recipient of the prestigious Unsung Hero Award 2021 by the Barbados Canada Association. It recognized him for his work in the diaspora while remaining faithful to his homeland, Barbados. All right, so let's say a very special good morning to Adrian Carew. How are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Barbados. How I miss you. Thank you so much for having me, Tisha.
And it's indeed wonderful to have you with us. I'd like to start at the very beginning. As somebody in the field, I love backstories. So tell us how you got started in the fashion and beauty industry.
Actually, I've been a hairdresser for way over 30 years. I followed suit of my mom, June Carew, who was a hairdresser in Barbados. And I proceeded into getting into hair. Then it just ended up me becoming into the fashion industry locally in Toronto. And whereas now I've been traveling to Europe doing all the shows in Paris and Milan.
What was that like for you growing up, seeing your mom doing hair and getting into doing hair yourself? And what kind of years are we talking about? Because hairdressing has drastically changed from what it used to be.
Well, my mom was a hairdresser for over 40 years in Barbados. And while I was growing up, for me, it was something that I just enjoyed watching her doing and actually with no interest in it. And emigrating to Canada in '89 is something I said, okay, let me get into it to have something to fall back on. Whereas I can take it anywhere in the world. And over 30 years, I'm still involved in it, loving it, having the opportunity to make people beautiful, make people happy, and creating images for people is something that I love to do. And it's led me to a part where now it's taking me even further.
What's your particular area of specialty?
My making people beautiful. You give me an opportunity to make you beautiful, I'll do it. I don't have specifically one area. I like a challenge. So I depth into all areas of hairdressing, from dealing with my clients from every day, Tuesday to Saturday, making them beautiful. Then I go into film. I dipped into that for a little bit. And now I'm into fashion, where I deal with all the supermodels, all the models all over the world, working backstage, keying shows in Paris, keying shows in Milan. So it's something that I enjoy doing, and that, it all has its different areas and its different pluses.
Fashion hair trends change so quickly and so drastically. How do you stay ahead of the curve?
Well, how do I stay ahead of the curve? To stay ahead of the curve isn't something that you do. It's just reinventing the wheel. Because 9 times out of 10, there are things that have been done before. All you do is just reinvent it, you change it, you add little touches to it, and hey, the creation is done. So I pay a dues to my peers who have created it before. So for me, saying that I've created something is kind of taking it away from my peers.
All right. In terms of natural hair, though, I know there's been a massive change in terms of how people view wearing their natural hair and how many people are wearing natural hairstyles these days. Has that translated into what you're seeing in the particular places you're going, whether behind the scenes at these prestigious fashion events that you're talking about, as far as Milan and on the various runways across the world?
Well, you know, a lot of the actual top girls, the top women of color, all tend to have natural hair now, and they're tapping into their natural identity. And natural hair for some things is a plus. So we giving our presence to be known from top to bottom. A lot of regular people who are getting into natural hair, yeah, it's great, but sometimes they don't realize it requires a lot more work, a lot more maintenance. So they're all getting into the challenge of making sure that they know that that is a area which they all have to take care of.
Now, I mentioned at the top of the interview that you got the Unsung Hero Award from the Barbados Canada Association in 2021. What does receiving an award like that mean to you on a personal and professional level?
On a personal level, it was quite an honor to be recognized for all the stuff that I've been doing. Because sometimes I like to stay quiet about things and to realize that, hey, somebody actually seen what I've done. And being recognized by your peers, by Barbados, it was an honor. And for me, it was like, I've been doing something and I'm doing it and I'm continuing to doing it and putting Barbados on the map and being recognized for it. I was beyond happy with this and honored, I should say.
And to add to that, your work has been featured in a number of prestigious publications, particularly Vogue Italia, Elle Canada, to name a few. How did those opportunities come about?
A lot of hard work, a lot of being recognized, a lot of going after my goals, traveling for them, and being present and, you know, delivering.
What are some of the other accomplishments that you've been able to kind of, so to speak, put under your belt? I know that you've been able to work with Revlon Professional and a few others. So talk to me about the major things that you've been able to accomplish as someone who is so stoutly now into the fashion and beauty business.
Okay, as you mentioned, Revlon. I won Revlon Style Master in 2015 for Canada, where I represented Canada on the international stage in Rome. I was selected as top 9 in the world. I represented Canada there. Then I won it a second time in 2016, and I represented Canada again in Paris for the same competition. Since then, my career evolved into where the fashion. I was invited with the Kamamoto, which is the head of the Milan Fashion Week, to teach black hair to a number of hairstylists backstage, so they have some knowledge of how to manipulate, how to work with black hair, and I did that for 2 seasons. I was key hairstylist for a group of young designers called the Fab Five in Milan, and that's where I shot Vogue Italia for them. Then went on to key a couple shows. Keying is being the head hairdresser who leads a team for a lot of the fashion shows that you see backstage. I was key hairstylist for Tokyo James for now going on for about 6 seasons. Saga Boy out of Trinidad, I did last season, key his show. Maxi Viva, I keyed his show as well 2 seasons ago. All this was in Milan over the last couple of years. And I just finished being a part of the team for Louis Vuitton Men's Spring 2025 in Paris. So I was on that team for the men's shows. And between the last couple of years, I've been on shows such as D Square, Izzy Miyake, Goshiri, Todd's, the list goes on and on and on and on. Bali, Oh, yes, I can go on and on about them in the last 4 years.
Oh, well, congratulations. What are some of the ways that you're able to share more about your Barbadian heritage with all of these people you're meeting as you go across the world?
To be honest with you, as we have to set up our stations and we have to put down a towel on our stations. For me, I put down a towel which has Barbados written right on it. And for me, I present that and they all ask me, where are you from? I said, I'm from Barbados. And a lot of them ask me where it is. Because a lot of the hairstylists are from all over the world. And funny enough, it's only 2 of us from Canada that usually work the shows. And they all ask me about Barbados, and I flip my phone out, I show them pictures of it, where it is, some of the attributes, some of the beautiful beaches that we have, and some of the foods. And of course, the Queen of Barbados, they know all about Rihanna, so they all ask about her and the contribution to Barbados, which she's given. And it's funny enough, last season I was on a show called CDGS, and there was a fellow Barbadian. She was the key makeup artist on the show, so it was really good to see her there.
What do you miss most about home?
Everybody knows that I love the beach, and that's one of the main things. First thing I get off the plane, I run straight to the beach. I grew up on the beach in Whole Town, and I just go home, dive right in, swim a couple laps, as I used to swim competitively for Barbados before. So that's one of the main things that I miss about Barbados, along with the food, along with my family, along with my friends.
All right, that's beautiful. What was the transition like moving from being a stylist to kind of training, teaching, and more or less mentoring others in particularly how they take care of ethnic hair?
Well, it was amazing because I love to share, so it came quite natural for me, and I like to get hands-on with them. And believe it or not, they were so receptive of it. They were so fascinated. We did all the classes on mannequins, super curly textured mannequin, and a lot of them didn't realize how easy it is to manipulate the hair. And the Italians were like very gung-ho. All of them were trying to very much to suck up the information. And they all asked questions. We showed them how to braid the texture, how to manipulate it so we can keep a nice afro in a natural state. It was quite easy, actually. It's like doing it as if I did it on my clients back at home here in Toronto.
And what are your future plans as you look toward your future in the fashion and beauty industry? What I love about it, hairdressing and style and fashion and beauty, is as you continue in the business, you can grow to the place where you're almost revered for what you know based on your knowledge, experience, and expertise. So where do you hope to take your love for the industry?
Well, for me, I never stop learning. I've never stopped opening the doors to receive. And every time I go, I learn something more from a younger stylist, from an older stylist. So for me, I just enjoy the fact that I am going to be out there to become one of the top well-known hairdressers in the industry, in the, as you say, diaspora of fashion. I just want to be one of those guys to be a key hairstylist. So I'm on my way to becoming that.
What are some of the things that you would say to, or what advice would you give to young hairstylists or young people in the fashion and beauty industry about how they should approach being able to kind of make themselves more visible and get more out of their careers?
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Learn all the aspects because there's a lot of things to be learned. Don't think that you know it all. I've been in it over 30 years and I still don't know it all. Don't think you're going to start at the top. Everybody starts at the bottom. Take it slowly. Open up. Take classes. Get somebody to mentor them. And listen to when the mentorees, as a mentoree, listen to your mentors.
All right, I want to thank you so much for sharing with us. It really has been a pleasure speaking to you, and I look forward to seeing a whole lot more of your work across the world as we continue to celebrate Barbadians who are doing phenomenal things across the globe.
Thank you so much, and everybody can follow me on my Instagram page, which is adrian.carew.hair, and you can see everything there. And you can follow me and see all of it because I'm always posting stuff from all my travels all over the world. And I can't wait to continue to share and be a part of the full representation of a Barbadian in the world. And that's what I'm proud of being.
Well, I'm going to follow right now. I'm actually typing it in as we speak. Here we go. adrian.carew.hair. That's simple. I'm following.
That's simple.
I look forward to
Thank you so much.
All of your fantastic work, and we will be shouting from right here in Barbados, he's a Bajan.
Definitely. As a Bajan, and I will always be a Bajan.
All right. Anybody that you want to say hi to, fans, friends, family watching here in Barbados?
I'd like to say hi to my family, to all my close friends there, my best friends, my dad, my cousins. Miss you all. And I hope I'll get to see you guys soon. I'll be home at Christmas. And let's go out, have some fun. Take care of yourself. And to all the people that suffered from Beryl, please take care of yourselves. We all know, we all praying for you, that we all get a strong recovery from all the stuff that has happened. And take care of yourselves, please. Love you all.
Beautiful to connect with you. Adrian Carew is a celebrity hairstylist, a Barbadian living in Canada. It's time for another break here on Morning Barbados. You'd notice that we've been featuring some of the top 50 songs for the festival as we look toward the 50th anniversary of Crop Over. All this morning, remember, these are all songs that did exceptionally well through the years but did not win a competition. So continue to stay tuned. We're going to be back as we head toward the 8 o'clock hour after this.
Hi, would you be able to...
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, just about 8 minutes to go before 8 o'clock. We have about 8 minutes to go. So the semifinals of the Scotiabank Junior Monarch competition came off last evening, and we have the results to share with you for those of you who don't already know. So for the Calypso category, the finalists are Potent, Hailstorm, King K, Bit is in there, Khaleesi, Nakaila, Trinity, and the reserve is Sabia. So congratulations to all of you for a job well done. We look forward to seeing you. Names again for the finalists in the Calypso category: Potent, Hailstorm, King K, Bit, Khaleesi, Nakaila, and Trinity, with Sabia being the reserve. And for the soca category, the finalists are John Boss, Leilani, Jaden Innes, Zaire B, Zari B, Carrie, Mr. Showman, Renisha, and Lil Status. And the reserve is Joshua B. So again, congratulations to you, John Boss, Leilani, Jaden Innes, Zari B, Carrie, Mr. Showman, Renisha, and Lil Status, with the reserve, Joshua B. Congratulations to all of you for making it to the finals. I know all of you did your very best in the competition, and you're going to continue to shine. The finals will be on the 20th of July at the National Botanical Gardens. Fingers crossed, because we know they had to change the venue this weekend because of the rain. So once that area gets dried out, I'm sure we're going to be able to enjoy the beautiful outdoors as we listen to these amazing young people presenting. All right, so we have some highlights of the 50th anniversary Cropover Vintage Tent as well. And of course, Cropover has officially started with the opening gala and ceremonial delivery of the last canes, which was held over the weekend. That was on Saturday in Bridgetown. The activities were in Hero Square, Golden Square, and they ended in Independence Square with a vintage tent with over 30 artists performing all the great hits of Cropover over the last 50 years. Let's take a look at some of those performances. Oh, yeah. So that's been the action all this weekend. Of course, keep listening for when we're going to air them right here on TV 8 for you to get a chance to see them. Hey, coming up tomorrow on Morning Barbados Conversations on CARICOM, you're going to get to meet some more of those young people in the Speak Off for the Junior Tourism Minister competition. John King, he's going to be in to tell us all about the windmills across Barbados. Plus, we're going to be telling you about the parent-wise part of the National Peace Program. That and a whole lot more coming up tomorrow on Morning Barbados. We want to say a very special good morning to our friends at Standard Distributors and Sales in Wildy. We miss you. But of course, all of this is available there. So head on down at will and see what else they have available. Who knows? We just might be changing things out pretty soon. On behalf of the entire crew, have a great day today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.